said to me, I looked at everything on your page, but I'm still not really sure what it is that you do. Have you had this problem before? In today's episode, we are talking about upping your social media game to get noticed. Hey, Francine.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, I am great. I got to tell you a story, though. You know,
I
this
yeah, I
happened,
want to hear it.
this happened a couple months ago, but it took me a little bit to kind of like put it into practice, to up my social media game, if you will. So so here's what happened. So someone was giving me some feedback on my social media pages, and they're like, "Oh, I think it's awesome that you're a music prosperity guide, but I mean, I've been through like your whole page, and I'm still not really sure what you do." And I'm like, "Oh, well, man, I've been working on trying to be clear about my communication with this. Darn, like I thought I was kind of like getting there with that." And so um what they suggested was, I'm doing a lot of great, like, here's um some value kind of posts. Here's something you could get out of this post, some information. But really, like, I wasn't showing how I'm myself building prosperity in my life. And then also, how am I helping the people that I'm working with in the music industry to also find their way to music prosperity? So I started a little live streaming challenge for myself. It's a little 30-day challenge. But in that 30 days, it's 5 days out of the week. I'm going to live stream. Doesn't matter how long. I'm just going to go on. I'm going to say my piece. I'm going to do my little report. I'm going to treat it almost like documenting how Heidelin coaching is going at this point. How is Heidelin hanging in there behind the scenes? Like, really? And as I was putting all the pieces together for this and thinking about it, because I am not alone in thinking, what are people going to care about what I do every day? Looking at it from, if somebody had a camera on me all day and didn't have any audio, it would look pretty boring. But I have some really exciting conversations and things like that. And it really also got me thinking, the parts of it that I didn't want to show, that I didn't want to share, are actually the parts that everybody should know about. Because that's the whole reason why a lot of people don't start. They're like, "Oh, wow, look at her website. Look at this. Like, she's got it all together. Oh, she's helping this person. This is great." But from my experience in talking to other entrepreneurs, a lot of people have the front up for what everybody sees up here. But if you went backstage to see what was really going on, I mean, there's a lot of chaos going on back there, from like bad habits that are sabotaging your results, to choosing the wrong people to work with, to not having the right systems, or you're coming up with systems on the fly. Nobody told me about any of this before I became an entrepreneur. I was just like, "Oh, no, it's going to be fine. I've been office manager for all of these businesses before. It's going to be just fine." It's not always just fine. And you know what? That's okay. So I'm starting it out talking about being in the messy middle, because that's kind of where my story is picking up. And I'm kind of excited about this because it is an effort to step up my social media game and do a little bit better than what I was doing before. And all of my progress so far has been in small baby steps with habits. And so what we're going to talk about today, Francine, is some of those small habits, small questions you can start asking yourself, so you're really clear on how to represent yourself, who you're talking to. and why all that's important.
Hey, Mark, I see you. How you doing today, Mark?
Hey, Mark.
And I've felt this too, and some of it's because I I'm a coach, and it all follows my 6-step process of personal change, but I coach different things for different people. For instance, I coach writing, I coach speaking, I coach mindset, and I coach children. So when I think about my social media content and how I need to represent myself, I can't speak to everybody all at once. I have to pick one group and speak to that group for that post because they have to see and recognize themselves in what I'm saying. So if I'm talking to parents about their children, I'm not going to give this big long post about building confidence in general. I'm going to keep it to parents building the confidence in their children. When I'm talking to speakers or people who are afraid of speaking and want to, I am not going to talk about people writing a book because they're not going to see themselves in that post. So sometimes it's not your overall uh, storefront, so to speak. Sometimes it's that one piece of content has to speak to one particular group, and it's okay to speak to 7 different groups, but not all at the same time. They have to be 7 different pieces of content. Like think about a pizza restaurant. They're going to attract a cross section of the population. But if they talk to the teenagers ordering a pizza after the ball game, they went to their football game, their team won, and they're ordering a pizza. That is not going to send the same message where the office, the boss, after a big meeting wants to treat the employees with a pizza. He's not going to see himself at that football game. You have to create another piece of content for, hey, your team worked hard for you. Treat them to a pizza after the meeting.
And I'm even going to zoom out even further because I have conversations with business owners and musicians all the time. And they're like, well, I can help anybody. Or my music, everyone will love my music. Oh, and then the other thing that I really love from musicians, I love that everybody wants to be extremely unique, but that puts you at such a disadvantage to find your audience if you can't relate to a genre. And it's basically the same thing as, picking an audience. When you pick an audience or a genre, there is a particular audience that's going to groove to that genre pretty much no matter what. There's kind of a set formula for how each of those songs go in the formula. And yeah, maybe don't fit all the boxes of that genre, but you got some elements of it. So use that to help you write your content when you're promoting your songs, when you're talking about the elements of what some of the songs have. Go check in Wikipedia and it'll give you descriptions for what these elements are in songs, so you can start using those kind of words. And the audience that loves your music is going to have such an easier time finding it, because when they search for it, you've already described it as those same words as what they're searching for. So this makes it so much more simpler than my music is good for everyone. Like I've never Googled, I want good for everyone music. I'm looking for music that's good for me. For me.
Music that speaks to your soul, not everybody's. And and
Exactly.
that and that is so important in your social media, is that even though it will speak to a mass cross section of society, you have to hit on specific pain points for different segments. And that's why it's okay to have so many different types of posts. And some people are going to like music with their posts. Some people want just words. Some people are more visual and they want video. That's why you have to do a whole combination. When I started doing reels and regular posts with photographs of me, regular posts with some general graphics, and when I added to that the what they call faceless, where it's just a video of your words scrolling, I started seeing my content being consumed more because Facebook is saying, oh, we have an audience that wants to see that. They didn't want to see all this other stuff you've been posting, but oh, yeah, they want to see this. So that is one big reason to know exactly who you're talking to and find out how they consume their social media.
And I think we also have some advantages with the analytics in social media because once you start posting, you can find out who is interacting the most with that kind of content and start to narrow down and kind of get a list. Like a lot of times, certain groups of people have other similar interests. So, being very clear on what it is that your audience enjoys, where they like to hang out. Because, for that matter, from one social media platform to the next, we've got different demographics for age, um, the kind of content like you were talking about, Francine. Do I like videos? Do I like words? What's my favorite way to consume content? And knowing where your people are hanging out online and in person can be a great leverage for that whole, well, you just have to be in the right place at the right time.
You have
Put
to
yourself in the right
put
place.
yourself in the right place at the right time. Therefore, you must know where the right place is and what the right time is.
Yes. And it's not as difficult as what you might think it is. So I've worked with some people that are like, I don't know how to pick my audience. So again, this is good for everyone is the initial mindset. And it's like, well, how are you going to pick who this is for? I already explained a little bit on the music side of it, but let's just talk about it from like a writing perspective. Okay. So I really want you to tap into that inner child piece of you while you're trying to figure this out. Because there's going to be some groups of people that when you are around those people, you're like, wow, these people are my people. Like, when you were a kid and you picked out like your people on the playground that you were going to go play with, and like it was amazing and great. And then there were, maybe these other kids and they were okay, but like you just didn't vibe with them as much, right? So it works the same way out there when you're trying to figure out your audience. It comes down to your story. Like maybe something happened to you in your life And because of that, you've got this new mission. So a lot of people then are, trying to bring attention to um, a certain situation, um, and kind of be like an advocate for the people that can't speak up for themselves in these kind of situations. Maybe that's what you've found that you want to do. Um, you are going to get so much more energy working with something like that, as opposed to maybe taking a safe route. And you're like, well, if I work with this group of people, I'm guaranteed to get paid. But maybe what you're helping those people with, it's boring to you. It's just, you know, they're nice people. We like talking to them, but just the subject matter of which you're trying to work through with them, you're trying to write about, is just not. Yeah, I was starting with a writer example, wasn't I?
Well, I have a great example for the person who does marketing for a vast array of markets. Mark McGraw, who is in the audience right now and talking to us. Mark is a veteran. Mark writes children's books. Mark writes books for older people and adults. He's got about 15 books on children'sauthorsunite.com. Check him out. And he has to market those books differently depending on who the audience is. For instance, one of his books is called Nikolai Pickolai, about a little boy who likes pickles. And he was invited to a picnic festival. Now, is he going to try to sell his book about being a parent in the military at the pickle festival? Probably not. But is he going to sell that? I think it's about when daddy goes home for lunch and he's a military member. Is he going to sell that book at a military gathering? Yes, he is. Now, yeah, they might like Nikolai Pickolai too, but his main focus at that military gathering will be the books about the military. Mark, do you want
Yeah.
to? Pickle, yeah, Mark. If you haven't seen it yet, go on my YouTube channel to my live stream. And a couple weeks ago, we live streamed, and Mark wore a pickle hat for a couple hours during this live stream. You got to go check it out. It's great.
I want a pickle hat. So, that is a great example. It's kind of like looking at the situation in a gathering, and it's like, what's going on in this group's lives right now? And what's going to be the most relevant for them in this situation with what you have? And I mean, I wouldn't think at first that I'd be selling books at a picnic, but it makes complete sense. Like once you said it, right? So I think it's also fun to kind of find those kind of connections where you have pockets of people that are going to be interested in what it is that you have that no one else has figured out that's similar to you. That's where it's fun. You get to pull other elements of yourself into it. And that is really what makes you stand out, which I think is another, big way to step up your social media game, is to be clear on what is it that makes you stand out.
Well, for instance, on the 4th of July, I danced at the Riverside Art Festival with my dance troupe, and I posted some videos of us dancing. Now, what does that have to do with personal change and gaining confidence? Well, if you know my story, I was 100 pounds overweight and I had to quit dancing. So the fact that I lost that weight and I got healthy and I'm able to dance again, number one, proves that my process works. And number two, gives people hope that they could change too.
I love that. And also, I have to say, because I mean, I get up on stage and, you know, whatever metal dancing is, headbanging for sure, and then whatever else like comes out of my body at the time, like there's some sort of confidence and flow like that. But like Zumba, the pool with everybody else, we did that one Zumba class at Asbury
We
Arts Studio
did.
together
We
that one
did.
time. Yes, that was a team building exercise.
It was fun. I have Princess Francie wagging her tail.
And, you know, because of that particular collaboration, I'm working on a new song. Well, no, it's been in the works for a while, so it's not really new, but like it's going to be new to everybody else when it's released. And so I was really thinking, like the way that it's going right now, it's got like a really good like dancey beat. So I might have Lorna like make me like a little signature dance to this song.
Ooh.
And speaking of songwriting, your song went a little bit further. It is now officially in the studio with a producer. But then I was like, oh yeah, then Lorna can make up the dance for the uh, Shake Your Tail song. So like,
Oh, Heidi. Mark says if I give him your address, he will send you the pickle hat.
really? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I will wear it with pride on this live stream when I get it. I am so excited about this.
Okay, Mark, you're on.
Oh, and he wants to add some jingles to his marketing. I love the sound of that too. Ooh, that's
Ooh.
stepping up your social media game.
I am so excited that Jump Jump Shake Your Tail is going to be coming soon.
Yeah, this was a live update. She didn't know anything about
I
it.
did not know. I thought that kind of fell by the wayside.
Well, sometimes that happens in songwriting, especially like if there's not a deadline when you have very busy people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things we talk about here too. So, Francine, speaking of projects and collaborations, I have some updates about my chapter for the Believe anthology.
I am so excited about that. People are finishing their chapters.
Okay, so I had this period of stuckness. Like I pretty much knew like what the end was going to need to be, but like I was stuck. And so it was 2 weeks ago I did this episode. I just put the link in the comments. And, you know, I was helping y'all brainstorm and we were talking about name that chapter. And so it was really just simplifying some times in your life, finding like the little treasure stories in all of your life and the lessons that you learned. And so I used this specifically for my chapter because I knew in the amount of words that we have for our chapter, I could not go into like all of the things that happened to lead me to the end result of this chapter. So I knew I had to simplify that down. And so that exercise where it was like 4 words, I'm like, oh, you know what? I could probably talk about this time period in a sentence. And then we move on to the next time period in a sentence. And yeah, that helped a lot. So I have a feeling that I'm going to be done with the chapter pretty quick now that I have like those little stem pieces. And then I'm definitely going to be booking a portal party before it goes to the editor because I feel like it definitely is going to need some eyeballs on it.
Okay, you brought it up. I've already posted the link so people could sign up or see when they are. We don't have any scheduled right now. A portal party is an opportunity to get feedback on anything you're working on. We've talked about doing posts until Heidi got feedback that people didn't understand what her social media was about, she didn't know she needed to change it. And then in writing her chapter, Heidi's been to a couple portal parties. It's so easy to
The
say.
porta potty is where we take you away from in a portal party.
If your idea belongs in a porta potty right now, come to a portal party to get it out of the porta potty and help it make sense.
I got to show Mark's comment here about the hardest reducing text down since we're used to writing a lot. And then especially with children's books, yeah, I imagine you don't want a whole page worth of text. Like that would blow children's brains up, I imagine. And I feel like because I write lyrics, writing this chapter and being brief would be super simple. But just like when I'm songwriting, and I was in the studio this weekend, so I kind of was putting some of this together. When I first put down the ideas for a song and I write it in a verse, like it might fit to the music, but the original words are usually very blunt, I guess, if you will. Like there's not much interpretation there. And I would prefer to have my songs be interpreted by the person that listens to it based on what their situation is. So, as the song grows and develops and I work on certain parts, I end up revising those words, much like you would edit your chapter. And a lot of times I'll have like a line that I was like, yeah, I want to have all these syllables for some reason. And then after singing through it a bunch of times, I'm like, too many syllables. That's crazy. It could actually just be this many and it says it. Or I could say it like this and it paints the picture in their mind instead of literally saying what it is.
It's amazing that you just said that, because in a portal party, you might not know what picture you're painting in somebody else's mind. And I learned that recently. I'm in the middle of writing a new contest speech. And I wrote down all my ideas and I recited it to somebody in Romania. And he didn't understand a couple references I made. So we talked through how I could make it more international so non-Americans would understand it better. Then I took that to somebody in Australia and I went through it with her. And with her, she said, okay, in Australia, everybody will understand this, but guess what? It was too long. It has to be less than 7 minutes. So we started figuring out how to take a sentence and turning it into a phrase and making it mean the same thing. And that's what we did in Heidi's first portal party. She was trying to write a paragraph for each time period. And like she just told you, she figured out that it only takes one sentence. And that's what we discover in these portal parties.
So before the episode, Francine, you were telling me that you have a worksheet that can help listeners out there be able to get clearer on who they're posting for, and some other questions to consider. We didn't get to it today. This is going to be, a stay tuned, come next week for part 2 kind of thing, because it's something that people don't always consider when they start working on their projects. And then suddenly they run into social media and they don't know what to post, or they don't know who they're posting for, all of these things. So this worksheet's really going to help you get clarity for your own promotions. So Francine, you look frozen. Or am I frozen? Okay. Well, I'm still moving. So I'm just going to put the spotlight on me instead of Francine's sleeping, and we'll hope that she comes back. But if you are interested in getting this worksheet, just put worksheet in the comments and Francine will get that to you. And I guess with that, I was hoping Francine would come back. But with that, I'm going to take this episode out. If you can conceive it, you can believe it, and you can achieve it. From the head. Oh, I see Francine in the back room. Francine, you are right on time to take this episode right on out. It's your cue from the. I don't know how you're still in there. Look, you're in the middle of us. There's two of you.
I don't know. My computer is playing all kinds of funny games.
All right. Well, it's your cue. It's time for arm and hand motions.
From the head to the heart to the hands.
Yes. You can. Yeah. Glad you could make it back for the ending, Francine. Hey, and everybody, don't forget, after the episode next week, we have a Q&A session in case you want to ask us anything about our book anthology collaboration.